Yo, guys, welcome to the Blue Podcast. Me, Tom, and Ben. Today we'll be discussing the fact that Chelsea are in the bin. We'll also talk about the PSG versus Madrid game. Some score predictions that I've been absolutely smashing, and then we'll already maybe finish if we've got enough time with some F1 because obviously F1 is starting very very soon. But before we get into everything, we are an ambassador for a new app called LinkMe. It's an app that makes juggling social media accounts easier than ever. Make sure to download the app and make an account with our link below, as well as also checking out our merch, which would be greatly appreciated. But firstly, how you doing, Ben?
Good, thanks.
Been a good week for Man City, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been lovely. A derby win and then through to the quarters of Champions League. Yeah, just you know, took it easy. I think against Sporting, 0-0, but it was 5-0 from the first leg, so they could afford to really. And it gave a few youth players a chance, and a few of the sort of rotated a few. So yeah, and kept other first teamers sticking over. So yeah, it's all good.
All good, fair enough. Well, that's good. You who would you most want? We know we did this before, but who would you most want in the draw?
I don't want to play an English team basically. But an English team and maybe Bayern, I don't want to play. Anyone else I'd take, but I just don't. Especially an English team, I just don't want it because we've lost every time I played an English team in the Champions League. So I just don't want that. I don't want it to happen. So um, yeah.
Fair enough. Well, obviously we got Lille in, next week coming up, and I just realised that I messed up and looked at the Man United score rather than the Sporting score for my Twitter prediction. So actually, I'm only on 15 points, not 16.
Okay.
But do also make sure you check out our Twitter at the Big Podcast One. Get involved in our Twitter predictions league, which obviously I'm smashing because I got the Chelsea score right yesterday, as per usual. Some would say. But obviously, do get involved. Obviously, we'll be continuing next season. Maybe there will be some Spurs games, depending on how we feel. And obviously, we will put a poll out nearer the start of next season to see if anyone wants Spurs predictions. But let's get into the hot topic right now in world football. Chelsea are in the bin. Been sanctioned by the UK government. Can't really do much. I've got a list of everything here so to make sure I didn't miss anything. And we'll cover it very quickly, and obviously then we'll talk about it. So initially, obviously, there's the no new contracts which we can't sign. So we can't sign Rudy, Christensen, or Azpilicueta onto new contracts, even if we wanted to currently, which obviously is not great because that leaves us with Sarr, Silva, and Chalobah, and that's it for our centre backs. In a back three system, that's not particularly great to only have three centre backs, and we can't sign anyone either. So if the sanctions are still in place and we haven't made a sale by the end of the summer transfer window, we're in a little bit of trouble. We've also got Charlie Musonda on loan, who is on a 1-year contract. Probably have got another year extension to go on loan again, but he's probably going to go as well. And probably a few more Chelsea players that I haven't listed who probably are much smaller, but obviously with the whole Chelsea setup, it's be like a lot of players to go out on loan, which wouldn't have happened next season anyway because of the only 6 loanees, right? There's the new rule: 6 in, 6
Yeah.
out, 6 in, 6 out for loanees. So Chelsea were in a bit of trouble with that anyway, but now we're in even more trouble because we can't. Yeah, I'm gutted. I'm not going to lie for the whole thing. We can still sell, which is the main thing. Obviously, Abramovich can still sell as long as the government allow it, which obviously then also means that probably like a Saudi or a dodgy company can't also buy us now because the government have to agree it. So it's probably going to be an American, which I put my voice out before about saying I don't want an American owner because we all know about the Super League and what's happened to United and Arsenal. So yeah, that's another sticky one. Also, no merchandise sales, which is obviously not good for putting money into the club. No more match day tickets. Tickets can be sold. Fortunately, if you've already bought the ticket, you can still go to the game. Obviously, I'm going to Chelsea Newcastle on Sunday. So when I heard the news, I was very worried I wouldn't be able to go, but still able to go to that, which is good. And well, two sponsors are possibly going to pull out. The three have already pulled out, which is a £40 million shirt deal, which is not great for us. And then Nike are in the process of debating whether or not to pull out on a £900 million deal, which probably would bankrupt us. Possibly, because that's a lot of money to lose. So that's worrying. And a little icing on the cake is that apparently United want to go in for Thomas Tuchel, but he's already come out and said that he wants to stay anyway. So that's a positive, I guess. From an outside perspective, Ben, what's your view on the whole situation?
I mean, obviously, on the face of it, it doesn't like that. None of that, looks or sounds good. But like I know, obviously, from a Chelsea fan perspective and stuff, it's all sort of, catastrophic and doom and gloom and stuff. But Chelsea as a club are still a very attractive club to potential investors, despite all these. Like obviously three have said like I don't think they've pulled out, but they want they want their like advertisement like off the shirts and off the stadium and stuff. It's basically they've suspended it, so that's not completely gone. And then Nike, it'll be like obviously they're thinking like is it a rumor or who said that they
it was a news article about an hour ago that came out and said that.
Yeah, well, obviously they might be thinking about it, but financially for them, they must make well more than that in shirt sales.
Yeah, but the issue is you're not selling any. You can't sell any shirts.
Yeah, well, they can't sell any, but like it would make no sense to do that straight away when there's potential for the club to be sold, and then everything's back up and running it again.
It could be suspended like the 3-1 then. They could just suspend it till obviously
so
ahead. But the sale is coming. It sounds like it's going to be a much longer process than everyone initially thought. Because obviously Abramovich doesn't want to sell it to some guy who wants to just take money out of the club, because obviously he's fallen in love with Chelsea Football Club, which is good. I'm also going to preface, obviously I'm going to speak from a Chelsea fan point. I do agree with the fact that obviously Abramovich should be sanctioned because obviously he's helping fund a war, which is shocking, and obviously the whole thing that's happening over there is horrendous and awful. And I mean the whole Chernobyl thing and other power plants being attacked is just mind-boggling as well with the whole situation, which could like if one of those power plants like gets damaged too much, that could cause major implications to the whole of Europe, which is just shocking, really. But I want to stay out of the politics. I just want to talk about Chelsea and all that because we're mostly a football thing, and realistically, no one really knows what's happening. But yeah, I'm just worried more about Chelsea, and obviously, if we do go bankrupt or we lose a load of money, that could cause either relegation, loss of points, etc.
I think. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that is going to happen at all. But I don't. They're definitely not in the immediate future anyway. But yeah, like stuff like. I mean, I think stuff like the Chelsea fans singing Abramovich's name at the games. I think that's just a bit like, come on. Have a bit of awareness. Like I get, I mean, I get it. Like City's owners, that we've said this before. City's owners are not saints. Like I get it, and because they've done so much good for your club, because they've done so much good for City, but I've still got that awareness that they are not saints, and I'm not going to sing the name.
I mean, this this was inevitably going to happen to a Premier League club that was owned by dodgy people at some point. Obviously, it just happened to be Chelsea were the first club where obviously it's come back to bite us in the arse, basically. I put in one of my mates' group chats that it's kind of also a bad reflection on the Premier League in a sense that they've allowed these dodgy people to get involved in Premier League clubs, and therefore these things can happen and will happen.
No,
So
it's yeah, no, it's true because they have this fit and proper owner test, don't they? Which is like just this doesn't seem to do anything because I mean it sort of stalled the Newcastle takeover, but like and I know it's sort of in the interest of like sort of it being sort of free and an open market, like in the interest of that, like you let whoever wants to invest, but then there also has to be that awareness of there is, these owners or people who with dirty money basically. So like, but I mean, it's difficult to sort of gauge that into it, but yeah, it's. I mean, in terms of like Thomas Tuchel as well, you were saying like he's not like you say United are fancying Thomas Tuchel. Like he's not going to go to United. He knows if him from his personal point of view, first and foremost he'll feel a responsibility to stay at Chelsea, to sort of guide him through whatever this time. And then secondly, we think, well, a new owner's going to come in anyway.
Yeah,
invest.
Yeah, if we get a new owner, they'll invest, won't they?
Invest
in theory.
Well, I mean, even if they don't invest as much, they're still going to invest.
Yeah,
like, it's impossible not to.
And the squad we have is still huge and so much potential to it. So like, it's still, and it's kind of almost his project now as well. He's made this team that was okay under Frank Lampard. Obviously, it was a difficult time when he took over, but he's then created this team that is almost almost there in terms of catching up with Liverpool and City, which is amazing. Because, like, for example, yes, we've lost to you twice this season in the Premier League, but only by 1 goal both times. The second game we weren't good enough, and to be honest, the first game we weren't good enough either. But thank you. And then against Liverpool, we played them 3 times, and in 90 minutes, and then even 120 minutes, I felt like we were possibly the better side, and also only drew 1-1. So drew every
final, especially you were the better team in that final.
And in the second game in the Premier League, we were the better team, and in the first half before Reece James got sent off, we were the better team. So there is. Yeah, I'd be surprised if he leaves. I also wouldn't blame him if he does leave. But it's the whole situation right now is so up in the air and
he won't leave, and like I was saying, like he'll from his point of view, first thing is he feels a responsibility, but second thing he'll think, well, a new owner's going to come in who'll invest similarly. So I might as well just hang about. But then also, like, if you're not able to do signings this summer, then it's basically a similar situation to the one that you had 2 years ago. And you've got like Conor Gallagher out on loan, Gilmore out on loan, Broha, like these players who are on contracts who can come back in. So it's not like
it's not end all, is it? It's not the end of the world.
So, it's a similar situation, and those all players will effectively be like new signings.
I think especially Broja and Conor Gallagher, because obviously they've stepped up so much since they've gone.
Those players are good players, and again they might have not got a chance if this hadn't happened. Like, I'm not saying that's like, oh, fantastic, it's happened, like, because in terms of, I mean, you don't want to see any club that happens to any club, but like in terms of a byproduct of that is that Conor Gallagher and these players might actually get a chance.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Mason Mount, Reece James 2.0 situation.
But these players are good players. Like Broha is playing miles better than Lukaku this season.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, and Conor Gallagher, is playing fantastic for Crystal Palace. Like some of the goals he's scoring are cracking. Like, so
the only worry is that we'll have to sell some players obviously, because obviously if we're losing, we're currently losing money because we're going to have empty stadiums and stuff like that. So obviously season ticket holders will still be there, which is good. There'll be I don't think there'll be any away fans either at games. So that's fine. I think we can still have away fans at other games because obviously that's not coming money into the club. That's going to the club we're playing against.
I would guess so.
I think. I don't know the ins and outs perfectly, and that would be great. But and I mean Havertz, Mount, Pulisic, Reece James, Chilwell will be back. Like that'll be like another new signing, having Chilwell back at the start of next season. We can probably sell some of our left backs, which would be great. I mean, we've got Alonso, Emerson, Chilwell. I think there's others as well.
You're gonna like do a victory lap when Alonso goes, aren't you?
Yeah, I wish he went out on loan, not Emerson. And I think Tuchel's pretty like when that whole situation happened. Like he's playing Sal left wing back right now. That's how little he rates Alonso. Yeah. And like Sal's not a left wing back, but in Tuchel's eyes, it's better playing him out of position than starting.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's played all right. To be fair, he's done nothing special at left wing back. But again, he's out of position, so you can't really.
He's doing a job, isn't he? Like
he's been part of. Well, he started left wing back. We've conceded, I think, 1 goal in the last 2 games. So I mean, it's not terrible, is it? Which is good for us. But yeah, like those young players, that's another season under their belt. Havertz is starting to come into his own. He's scoring goals, which is great because obviously Lukaku isn't. And I mean, did you see when I don't know if you watched the game yesterday. Probably not. It wasn't on TV. But Lukaku came on, had a chance to easily put it in the back of the net, and he put it wide straight away. It was like, nice one, mate. It's like, so there's 100 million right there. You know. Comes on off the bench, you think, he's got a chance now, maybe prove himself. After Havertz has scored like a couple, like three goals now, or something. Actually, how many goals has he scored lately? He scored
a few, yeah.
He scored a few.
If it was me next season, I'd be playing Broha up front, like over Lukaku every day, any day of the week. Like
100%.
Like it's just Broha's got. I mean, he's tall. And he's got that sort of number 9, but he's also got that sort of trickiness about him.
Yeah, I think Havertz has scored 4 in 3 now, which is good because obviously we need a goal scorer, and he's fitting that bill. I mean, his goal yesterday was lovely goal yesterday.
Oh yeah, no, but yeah, Bro's got that sort of he causes problems for defenders and stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Southampton have lost their last 2 games, haven't they? They lost to Villa and then they lost to Newcastle. Newcastle looking good. Newcastle, I think they haven't lost since the end of December.
9 games unbeaten. Jeez,
crazy. That's a turnaround of a bloody half, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you see Bruno's goal yesterday?
I've seen like it was cracking or something, but
back heel volley, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, the corner comes in, someone heads it back, and he just, just like little heel flip back into the goal.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had Goal Rush on for the game, so I think it's an American channel. I don't know, but they show every goal if there's games on at the same time, which I kind of like, but at the same time, I hate the fact that adverts pop up in the middle of a game sometimes.
I know. Yeah,
that's just an English thing, I think.
If there's an advertisement opportunity in America, they'll take it.
Oh yeah, 100%. I don't know if it is American, but it's because they had they had pretty much all English pundits. But
they know that they don't have
they had McManaman and stuff on it, I think.
Yeah, they know that they need the English pundits because they don't have the expertise in terms of their pundits. So, but yeah,
they got Tim Howard, and that's about it.
Yeah,
and Dempsey.
Yeah. Well, then in terms of advertisement, they just try and advertise everywhere. But yeah, you were saying about the players out of contract as well, weren't you? Like Aspie and
I think Rudiger's the biggest one.
Yeah, I think some of them, like, they might have gone anyway. I mean, Rudiger might have gone anyway, but
Yeah, but then now there's no way of saying if he
yeah,
wasn't.
yeah. But like the other two, like I mean, Aspilicueta,
He was
I
good.
think he's, I think he's been a fantastic player for Chelsea. I
He's
think
won everything. He's
yeah,
genuinely won
I think
everything.
he's like a proper servant of the club. He probably he should be a club legend really.
He's won everything. Of course, he captain, won everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's not obviously like he's not John Terry or Frank Lampard in terms of the caliber of player, but
Mm.
in terms of what he's done for the club, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely legendary status. And if anything, going this summer, I don't think any Chelsea player is going to blame him. Well, obviously we can't blame him now because obviously we can't sign him. But
yeah,
but yeah, I think Rudiger's the big one.
yeah. Because the other two, I mean,
Christensen's already pretty much
already going. Yeah,
agreed a
and
contract.
Might have decided to go anyway because you say it's more than just footballing reasons; it's family reasons as well.
Because he'd be moving back to Spain, his own country, and all that.
Yeah. But Rudiger, yeah, like you say, he's the main one in terms of he's been so key for you this season, and to lose him on a free would be
exactly.
Yeah.
And the fact that,
I mean, maybe. Sorry.
I was going to say that like the fact that he hasn't signed a contract with another club yet would possibly indicate that he was thinking about staying.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it just depends on this sale. Like, it depends when the sale happens.
If you get the sale through sooner rather than later, then you'd be able to still.
Yeah, I'm sure this sanction will have probably sped up the process. I think Abramovich probably would have liked a bit more time to obviously, pick the right person, because there's obviously there's been a lot of people coming out and saying they're in for him, or they've been spoken to people about signing or buying Chelsea and stuff like that, and then a few days later they'll come out that Abramovich doesn't like the manifesto that they put in, etc., because it's not what he wants with the club. So, but this sanctions may force his hand in a sense to sell to someone.
I would think so. No, I'm not saying that he's going to go right. I'm just going to sell to the next person, but it will sort of.
Yeah, it's just kind of like it'll be a scenario of the better of two evils in terms of obviously he can't keep Chelsea sanctioned for too much longer, otherwise there'll be major financial implications. So he may have to sell to a person that he wouldn't normally have sold to, basically. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's just stressful. It's very stressful. I understand why it happened, but yeah, it's just.
I think you'll be fine, to be honest. Like I was saying, Chelsea, the club, are still a very attractive club to invest in. So there'll be this short period of time of sort of these sanctions, and then the sale go through, and whether they invest to the same extent or not as Abramovich, they will still invest, and you'll be fine. And you've still got Thomas Tuchel, one of the top managers.
I think the main thing is that out of all of this, there's no. It's not like with Rudiger and Aspilicueta or whatever. We've still got Tuchel for the foreseeable future. I think his contract runs out next season anyway, so we've still got loads of time to get him back in, and he seems to like love Chelsea as well. So all the fans love him, and
and your squad's
good enough to take a hit like this.
Yeah, minus Lukaku is good enough. Lukaku. Oh dear.
But also do let us know what you guys think about the whole Chelsea situation in the comments below, or at us on at the podcast one on Twitter to let us know what you guys think on the whole situation, because it's a tough one. Obviously, it's literally just like news article coming out all the time now about what's happening. Obviously, Bojo did an interview talking about it, saying that it doesn't matter who you are. If you're fun, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he knows that obviously it's not good for Chelsea and it's not necessarily Chelsea's fault, but you can't just get away with it basically just because you're a football club or whatever, which is absolutely fair enough. But yeah, it's just the unknown. It's going to be very strange being at Stamford Bridge on Sunday. Yeah. Very, very change. I'm unsure what's going to happen.
I'm sure there'll be a contingent who sing Abramovich's name.
I think, it's kind of like take it with a pinch of salt. I think that Abramovich thing, because obviously his 20 years with us have been probably the best 20 years Chelsea have ever experienced, which is why we appreciate him. And obviously, I don't think. I don't want to say anything. I was going to say I don't think necessarily he wanted the war to happen, because obviously it's messed him up big time. But I don't know. Have you seen that? It's come out that maybe Putin's terminally ill, and that's why he doesn't care. That's why.
I've seen that. I mean, I mean, you never know, but because I've seen like that people feel some analysts think that he might be like mentally unstable or something. So like, and like the isolation in lockdown is like caused him to like go a bit mentally unstable and stuff, or mentally ill or whatever. But I mean, you just never know. You just don't know.
Yeah, I can't see any benefit right now of what he's doing. There is no benefit to Russia at all. I saw something that's like, is this war worth it when you now got to pay equivalent like £25 for a bottle of milk or something because of the
inflation?
Yeah.
So, no, he's
Have you also seen, speaking on the war, and China have stopped showing Premier League games because obviously they're all pro. All the Premier League games are supportive of Ukraine, with obviously all the Ukraine flags on the armbands and stuff like that. And China have stopped showing Premier League games because of it, which is just baffling.
Well, China is a whole
different ball game,
whole different kettle of fish. Because they've got their own tight set on Taiwan, haven't they? So they're dodgy.
Yeah, obviously they support Russia, but they also have frozen their assets. So it's like you do one thing, but then you do another thing to then make the other thing seem like it doesn't matter. So
they're hedging the bets, basically.
Well, yeah, because they know the whole world's against Russia right now.
Yeah.
So this whole situation is baffling to me. I can't believe and it's shocking what's happening in Ukraine.
Yeah, but it's well. I mean, if you look through, I mean, I'll say it briefly because we'll move on to other things. But if you look through sort of his comments in the past and stuff like that, he's long held the sort of this attitude that Ukraine is Russian and it's part of Russia and like all that sort of stuff. But he's never actually acted on it until now. And I don't know why he's acting on it now. But some sort of like say some analysts say that the isolation of lockdown, he's sort of got in his own head and stuff like that, and that's why he's acting on it. But he's long held these things because he said it in sort of writings that he said in speeches that he's done. Like, so
there must have been there's clearly been a trigger.
Yeah.
At some point, no one really knows what it is, and. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to some happier thoughts rather than war crimes and all that kind of stuff. And Europe, half of Europe possibly being blown away by nuclear radiation. Let's move on from that quickly. PSG Madrid on Wednesday. What a game! What a game of football!
Hey, yeah, fantastic.
Did you watch it?
I was watching the City game. I did turn it over. But yeah, I was watching the City game for the first part. But yeah, no, it's. I mean, obviously, it's just a case of like, we've seen what PSG that we know what PSG are about. It's what I was saying to you when you're like, who do you fancy playing in the next round? I was saying if PSG got through, I'd take PSG because we've played them already this season. We've won once, and the game that we lost against them, we played better than them.
Yeah,
but we know how they play and like the way that
how they play is defensively a back four, midfield three, and then Neymar, Mbappe, and Messi all in the far left corner. If you've seen the picture.
Yeah,
It is poor. And did you see there was all these things that came out that Neymar and Donnarumma had a little battle? Oh, you got the dog there. Cute.
Yeah.
Neymar and Donnarumma had a fight in the changing rooms, and obviously then Neymar showed the messages afterwards, which probably was all fake anyway. And then the owners have apparently come out and said they want to get rid of Neymar. So, and will Messi be there next season? I know Beckham wants him to come to his club in the US if he goes anywhere. I mean, the game was pretty mad. I'm not gonna lie, was it 10 point something seconds between Benzema's goals?
Yeah, crazy.
It was crazy, and we had it on the TV whilst we were at Football Social. So I didn't watch it particularly well, but I remember the first goal went in as I started to try and find one of my mates, and then by the time I found them, the second goal had gone in, and I was just stood there like,
what?
Obviously, a few drinks in by then.
I
was like, wait, what? This is crazy. And obviously, Vinny Jr. got on the score sheet first as well. He's looking stronger and stronger because obviously there've been questions in the past about actually how good he will be. But this season he's obviously smashing it, and obviously Madrid are smashing the Liga. I know a lot of people think that the Liga right now is possibly worse than the Italian league and maybe even the Portuguese league right now, which is well, just in terms of interest, because obviously I saw someone was third or second who I'll get it up, who just aren't a good side. Who is it? It was it was Real Betis. They're now fifth. But Real Betis were like second or third at one point.
Well, Real Betis used to be one of the top clubs in Spain.
Yeah, true. Was it Sevilla or Villarreal that West Ham lost to as well?
Sevilla,
who are second to be fair, but I think West Ham are falling off, unfortunately for them.
Yeah, it's just the added thing of having Europe as well. It's just it's difficult. But,
it's very difficult.
But yeah, no, it's what do you call all this stuff, like there's obviously the fallout from the loss for PSG into it, but like because their whole sort of structure is set up to win the Champions League basically, because the Liga and all the domestic trophies are almost a given in terms of what they're able to invest compared to the rest. So the whole structure, not the structure, but the whole sort of setup is
their goal is to win the Champions League, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Which is even funnier when Thomas Tuchel got sacked for not winning the Champions League, and then when winning the next season with Chelsea. So with Thiago Silva, I remember Tuchel came out and said he wanted Thiago Silva to stay at PSG, and that was the first. I think that was the first point when Thomas Tuchel started falling out with the PSG ball, because obviously they didn't keep him. He went to Chelsea. Just happens Thomas Tuchel went to Chelsea, and then the two of them are rubbing it in PSG's faces.
Yeah. The whole structure is set up for Champions League, so it's obviously they're racking the brains to see what else they can do.
Yeah,
they've tried a lot of things, as City have.
But City are still very competitive in a competitive league.
Yeah, I suppose.
Like winning the Premier League is much more impressive than winning the Liga.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, no, it's
very funny. It is funny watching PSG get knocked out by Real Madrid when they had such a comfortable lead as well.
It's crazy. They 2-0 up on aggregate, and then
they scored first. Did they score first as well?
Yeah, like that. They were just like they were 2-1 down, and then 3-1 down. They're out. Like crazy.
It was very bad from them. Very, very bad from them.
Yeah.
What was I going to talk about? Robert Lewandowski's now in the lead for the top most Champions League goals this season, taking over Haller with a 7-1 win. We started watching the Liverpool game on Tuesday, realised it was boring, switched it off, put the Bayern Munich game on. Then that became very quickly boring. Very, very quickly became not very interesting when Robert Lewandowski scored a hat-trick in no time at all, and it was just shocking. Like the 2 penalties as well was the same guy was just brainless. It was pure brainless, like clear head loss, and no need for both challenges as well. Like, I mean, I guess the first one, I know he was trying to stop the Lewandowski shot, but he was nowhere near getting the ball. And then the second one, he just kicks him on the edge of the box, which just happened to be in on the line. So yeah, that played very quickly. And then obviously Inter got a goal back. Well, could this happen? And then Alexis Sanchez. Actually, yeah, this is a good talking point. Did you see the tackle?
I've seen it. Yeah, it was.
A lot of pundits do not agree with the fact that that was even a yellow, let alone a foul.
Yeah, it was very, very soft.
Because he kicked the ball, and then he tried to get out of the way. There was literally no other place his foot could have gone. And I understand, like, yes, he stamped on his ankle. But in my opinion, I would have, if I was the ref, play it smart. You've got VAR behind you, right? Send him off first with a straight red. And then obviously, if it's not a red card and then it's not a yellow card, VAR will tell you.
Yeah.
Think he could have played it smart because obviously instantly he's given him a second yellow. That can't be overturned.
Yeah, no, Spurs, but
Mate, just big brain it, mate. You just be smarter.
Either way, it's very harsh, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's Liverpool, so you know.
Yeah. Probably bought out the ref anyway.
Yeah, they get everything. Nah, joking, but yeah.
Yeah. Also, you can't complain about Chelsea buying out anyone now because we can't.
Yeah.
You can't, you know. So if we have any good draws, it's not our fault.
Yeah, I see. That's just the last direct debit that went through. That's what I do.
Yeah. Well, obviously we got Middlesbrough in the FA Cup, which could be very interesting, having obviously knocked out United and Spurs.
I think you'll be fine, but
yeah, it'd be impressive. If they do it 3 times in a row, bloody hell, to get to the semi-final.
Yeah. True.
That's crazy. I swear they're not even particularly high up in the championship anyway.
They're like just underneath the playoffs, aren't they?
Yeah, they are 8th. They're 8th. So, you know, there's the fact that an 8th place championship side just beat United and Spurs. Fair play to them.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think Fulham are up. That's pretty much a done deal.
Yeah.
Hasn't Mitrovic now equaled the all-time goal scoring record now?
Yeah,
he hasn't quite broken it yet, but he's there, and there's still so many games left to play.
Yeah.
So many games left to play, so he's going to smash it. But it's kind of crazy that the championship goal record seems to be being broken season after season after season.
Yeah.
So it was just, I mean, I know we've spoken about will the championship go up in level because obviously the Premier League's level is going up and up and up, especially in the top 10 teams are definitely, and then obviously improving, and then obviously to stay in the Premier League you need to be much better than you used to in the past. So that could be obviously trickling down, but it's very difficult to gauge, obviously, because good players decent players who'd be good for the championship can just go to a French side or a Spanish side or an Italian side or even a German side as well now to play, League One of that country.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I mean those leagues are better. Maybe I'm not Liga, but like Serie A, La Liga, Bundesliga are
Bundesliga
better.
dropped off though. That's fine. I'll speak whilst the dog barks. I think the Bundesliga's fallen off. I know a lot of people that I've spoken to have said that the Bundesliga's fallen off and La Liga. Obviously, Serie A has improved a lot. the competitiveness as well for the
Yeah.
top spots is very, very good right now.
Yeah. Oh, but I mean, even then, I would say those leagues are better than the Championship. I don't think.
Overall, yeah, and also like in terms of prestige as well.
Yeah, I don't think you can ever say that like a Division One of a different country is worse than a Division Two of another country. That's just not isn't how it works.
Yeah.
But like, don't get me wrong. Obviously, the Championship is, has been improving and is very
Probably
competitive.
the best second division in the world in terms
Oh
of.
yeah, yeah. No, don't get me wrong. It is improving and it is, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's in a sense though. It is also, it could have been. I don't know if this is true or not, but playing in the Championship and doing well in the Championship, and let's say you want to play in the Premier League, playing in the Championship is a good way to prove yourself to then get signed up by maybe like a Burnley or a Newcastle. Maybe not Newcastle anymore because they want to win titles now. But like some of the like 10th, like let's say 8th to 16th places will start. They do sign like good up and coming Championship players like Ollie Watkins, who did it, Armstrong for Southampton.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of players who, if you do well in the Championship, there is a very high chance that you'll be snapped up by a Premier League side.
Yeah.
So that could be another big brain if you wanted to be smart. Anyone that's watching this who's thinking of becoming a professional footballer.
Agent Tommy,
Agent Tom, yeah. See, I'm big brain in it for the refs. I'm big brain in it for professional footballers, mate.
Jeez.
It's not like I'm a captain / manager of the best intramural side to have ever existed at Swansea University. Well, we got to win our last game, and then we win the title undefeated, and obviously we won the cup earlier as well. So yeah, just sprinkling my my knowledge out there, mate. Tommy Tuchel on the sidelines, and then I'd say like I'm trying to think of who would I be like. Well, probably like a Division 8 player, but but it is what it is. I'm playing for King's Fours on Sunday actually. Yeah, because obviously I'm going to London to see Theo, and he's offered me do you want to play some football for King's fourth team? So why not? I'll be on the right wing. He'll be in the right back, mate. Beautiful partnership on the right flank, I'm sure.
Partnership thing.
Pretty much, yeah. Should we talk about a bit of F1 before we wrap it up?
Yeah, can do, yeah.
Well, I said I'd hand over to you because you know more about F1 than me.
I mean, they're basically just in pre-season testing, aren't they? And the first race is next week.
And you said there's already been a complaint by Red Bull?
Yeah, the main thing is that Mercedes have brought an upgrade to these pre-season tests, where effectively they've got rid of the side pods, which if you're looking at the front view of the car, either side of the driver, you see like these hole inlets that funnels air through to the engine to cool it, basically, and also help with a bit of aero and stuff, I guess. I think. But basically, Mercedes have effectively got rid of it, so it's like a lot more streamlined. There is still an inlet there, but it's a lot less than usual. And Red Bull, basically, like no one was really expecting it because they're seen as sort of a fundamental part of the car, and also in the regulations. Like it's like apparently it's within the regulations what they've done. So it's just innovation.
Red Bull will just complain anyway.
Yeah, they complain about anything. Yeah, exactly.
There's going to be a lot of that this season. I can already imagine. There's going to be anything that's not quite where it used to be. Both sides would be like, that's not allowed.
It's fundamental to the way Red Bull operate. That's just the way they work. But anyway, yeah. So Red Bull are not happy about that, and Horner has already said, Karen Horner, as the people call him on Twitter and stuff.
He is Karen Horner.
He doesn't feel that it's in the spirit of the regulations, and that he feels that some of the parts were illegal. But the funny thing is that after saying like this thing in sort of an unofficial interview with like a reputable F1 journalist, Red Bull came out and said that he hadn't said it. But then, because it was the journalist was like, "Well, I don't know why they said that because he did say it to me." They then came out and said that they've said nothing official. So like trying to sweep it under the carpet as if they said it nothing, like
Yeah. He's
when
such a whinger, isn't he? I hate him. Like I've only come into F1 recently, and obviously I didn't really have any opinions on anyone, but I don't like Horner.
yeah, he's not
Right,
nice.
I can't stand him. And the duel thing on Sky just didn't paint Verstappen and him in good light when they said, "Oh, he shouldn't have lost his job for it," and it was all regulated. Oh, it was just awful. It was just awful.
Yeah,
You were going to say it, and
yeah,
maybe like I understand it's obviously still very fresh, and so they will say it because obviously if they admit to it being wrong, then everyone will come etc. Like the whole social media would blow up if they didn't, but. It wasn't right, and I'm still fuming about it. And I know your stand is as long as anyone but Verstappen wins, you don't care.
yeah.
In my opinion, I want Hamilton to win now.
Oh no, I'd love it. I'd love it if I want Hamilton to win it.
Yeah.
I'd love it if I'm sounding like
Yeah.
Keegan. I'd love it if he beats him. I'd love it. But I know it'd be fantastic if Hamilton is the one to win it. But if anyone beats Verstappen, then you can just laugh at Verstappen basically. So I'm basically just giving myself more of a chance of being able to be happy that Verstappen lost.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, your main thing is as long as Verstappen loses is the main thing. But ideally, you want Hamilton to be the one to beat him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And from testing, it's going to be close with the cars for sure.
Yeah, I mean, testing it's always difficult to gauge off times because all the cars run in different setups, different tires, and some are sandbagging, like, and some are they're just all trying different things. So it's very difficult to sort of see. So basically, you'll only know until qualifying, basically, for the first race where different teams are at. But I'm sure that it'll be the usual suspects of Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren. Because Ferrari and McLaren are supposed to have made quite a few steps forward this year, so that'll be interesting. But yeah,
what's your thoughts on George Russell obviously being partnered with Hamilton? Because in my very limited experience of F1 and previous races, who was the guy that beat Hamilton in the same team?
Rosberg.
Could there be a repeat of the whole Rosberg situation?
I think they'll have guarded themselves against that. They wouldn't. They would have. They would have. They would have guarded against that. They wouldn't have wanted to happen that happen again. Like they would have sort of learned from that. So basically, either they've said to Russell, right, this season, it's about Hamilton getting his 8th title, and this will be your season, sort of being not sort of in the contract, but effectively second driver and sort of bedding yourself into the team and getting used to it. Then when Hamilton's finished, you're number one. That I think that if it was me doing if it was me sort of running the team, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
But maybe they've gone for a different approach of saying, like, we're gonna just let you both race, but like, please don't, like, don't be silly about it. And also, when it comes to, I mean, either way, they'll say when it comes to sort of those decisions, they'll favour Hamilton.
Yeah, it'll be like an unspoken thing, basically. Yeah. And like obviously, Russell has a massive in the past. He loves Hamilton. He hasn't come out and said that he helped him to like motivate him into.
Well, there's that photo of him when he's really young with Hamilton. When Hamilton just started, so he does like, and I think he does like Hamilton. I think they like each other, and I think they've also the stuff that we're saying from the start has been quite good as well. Because I think I mean, I think Hamilton wasn't really wanting Bottas to go because he said he's been the best teammate he's ever had in terms of. I mean, obviously he knows he's better than him, but also in terms of the sort of teamwork and cooperation and stuff and sharing data and
Well,
like
apart from the last race.
yeah,
When Bottas
yeah,
didn't
but
cancel.
helping each other in terms of the setup of the car and
Yeah.
stuff. And they've also, and I think they've also sort of said that in terms of the stuff they're saying, they've been trying to have that sort of same sort of energy, and that same sort of that
Yeah.
vibe to it. So
Russell was the first person to come out literally straight after the race and say how the last race, how shocking it was
yeah,
that happened.
yeah,
And I mean, a lot of people did, like Button did as well,
yeah,
just because it was.
yeah. It's very telling that he was the only. I think he was the only actual driver to say that.
Well, he was the only person to release a statement on it about it, I think.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, people say, "Oh, he's going to Mercedes, so he's trying to, win favor a little bit and stuff." But I think that's fundamentally what he felt as himself. But yeah, I think there's definitely the similar vibe in terms of trying to cooperate
Yeah.
and similar sort of
Similar vein in a sense.
similar vein
Because I remember we spoke about it before, and even if, let's say, Hamilton is the number one driver for the next 2 years, Russell will then be the next number one driver for the next 10 years. So, yeah, like he would obviously, let's say he wants to, try and get close to Hamilton's record of wins. He has 10 years to do it once Hamilton stops, let's say, in 2 more years. So I'm sure he's happy with what he's in. Obviously, he's fortunate enough to have joined Mercedes at their peak still, and probably will stay at their peak for a long time. So, yeah, fair play to him.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting season. Well, yeah, I'd be surprised if it's not close. I'd be very surprised if it's not.
I think I'd be surprised if it's not close, and I'd be surprised if it wasn't the usual suspects.
Yeah, and I'd be surprised if there's not some fireworks at some point in the season.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, we'll wrap up there. Bit of world drama, bit of football, bit of F1. What more could you want on a Friday afternoon? But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please do leave a like and subscribe. If you're new around here, we're still grinding for that 900 subs, which would be fantastic. Let us know with anything if you agree or disagree or have an opinion on anything we've said during the podcast in the comments below, or at us at Twitter at the Blue Podcast One. Check out our Instagram, which is also at the Blue Podcast One, where we've been doing polls for who is the best footballer, because we're basically doing our own version of the Ballon d'Or, seeing who is, in your opinion, the best footballer. And obviously, we've got Twitter polls and we've got Twitter predictions to check that out. Check out our merch, which is just below the LinkMe app. Link, which we would appreciate if you downloaded it with our link, and the TikTok at the Blue Podcast, which will come back soon, but we're just on a little bit of hiatus on that. Busy times at university. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we'll possibly see you on Sunday, or maybe before, depending on. I think I might be seeing the Batman today, so maybe before for a gradient show. That depends if Ben goes and watches the Batman.
I think I might be watching it Sunday.
Okay, so maybe early next week you might get a podcast, boys.
Yeah.
So yeah, see you later.